Welcome sa ating channel mga kaibigan. We are here to talk about the Fractal Design Torrent chassis. It is now arguably the best airflow chassis international as announced by other tech reviewers. Pero ngayon aalamin natin if this is a casing that will really perform significantly compared sa mga previous best airflow chassis. This is the Lianli 215. Yan po yung i-compare natin. And let's find out if how will this chassis performs also pagdating sa ating temperature here in the Philippines. One of the things that I did in here is I changed the testing methodology by adding more components involved pagdating sa ating torture test. And that is what we will find out kung gaano kalayo to give you more additional reasons why this is really the best airflow chassis that you should consider. Or is it just a hype? But before that, stay put lang po kayo until the end of this video dahil meron po tayong pag-giveaway from Fractal Design. Now let's find out, and for more videos like this, feel free to subscribe.
This video is brought to you by SCDKey, the best website that you may visit in terms of very affordable deals and best offer para sa application softwares, games, and yes, operating system. And there you are, you may check the Windows 10 Pro, and by using our promo code, ma-avail mo lang siya ng around $14.95 or 700 plus pesos. That's it mga kaibigan. Check the description below. May mga links po tayo dyan to go directly sa kanilang website.
Okay, so before we'll talk about the benchmark and testing na ginawa po natin, uunahin po muna nating tingnan yung kanyang physical structure. Ang ganda ng kanyang harap. It is something that is really unique. And Fractal Design didn't fail us pagdating sa pagdadala ng mga best performing chassis with a unique design na hindi sila, kumbaga, hindi kagaya ng iba. And that is something new or something good pagdating sa brand ng Fractal Design. They are preserving their signature that is Fractal. Pag nakita mo is, oh, it's Define R5. Fractal Design yan. Pag nakita mo yung Meshify, Fractal Design yan. Now, if you see this, yes, that is a Fractal Design. Well, for me, hindi po bago sa akin ang ganitong implementation sa front panel grills. Actually, nakita ko na po ito sa Deepcool CL500. Yan po yung unang nagpasilip sa atin ng ganitong design. Now, sa kanyang top, makikita nyo naman yung mga power button at saka yung reset button. Of course, the ports, front panel port. And then dito sa top, meron siyang top cover that is also made of plastic. So, by the way, the front panel and the top panel is made of plastic. Now, what's new in here is makikita nyo po na yung kanyang power supply is top mounted. Hindi na po nakalagay sa baba. So, you might wonder bakit walang PSU shroud dahil hindi po dito ang position ng kanyang power supply. Nandito na po sa taas and meron din po siyang sariling enclosure or shroud. And you will see later how good is that implementation, how will it affect yung temperature ng ating system unit mamaya-maya. Now, moving to the side panel, both sides is tempered glass po. And then at the same time, tool-free design. So, meron po siyang locking mechanism dito sa may bandang top. That will be also the same with the front panel. Now, going inside, makikita nyo dyan yung napaka-spacious niyang chamber. And meron siyang included na free fans, tatlo po sa baba na 140mm and meron din pong dalawang 200mm sa harap. The variant na meron po tayo is the non-RGB variant. Meron po tong variant na RGB and you may check that on their website. And for the first time, I will appreciate the rear part of a chassis. The vent holes are so big. So honeycomb yung design. This is something that I highlighted again sa ating previous video that you may check below. Something that will really help pagdating sa ventilation. I've explained that so many times, pero yes, check that video again for you to understand why this is a big help pagdating sa temperature benchmark. Now, as big as the chamber is, sobrang ganda ang kanyang clearance pagdating sa mga radiator compatibility. Of course, you can install almost all kinds of size of radiator. And that is one thing that I appreciate in here, as much as almost all height of air coolers. Sobrang ganda ng dimension ng chassis. That dimension pagdating sa width, length, and height It's so on point. There are lots of chassis out there that comes with this kind of size. Pero sometimes, pagdating sa clearance, nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng restrictions. I mean, you have wider array of choices, not only for air cooling solutions or those closed loop factory liquid cooling systems, but also pagdating sa custom water cooling if you want to upgrade later and you want to have a push-pull configuration for a 360mm radiator here at the bottom and 360mm radiator din sa kanyang harap. And with that being said, let's move on sa other side. And same as sa kanyang chamber, sobrang luwag din yung kanyang cable management system. And then at the same time, mapapansin nyo po kaagad yung kanyang cable management guide and mas mapapadali po yung pag-route ng mga cables. The only thing that I noticed during the assembly is, dahil nga yung power supply is nakalagay po sa taas, medyo na-short po yung ating PCIe cable kung ang gagamitin lang po natin is yung stock cables. So, ibig sabihin, if you want to go for this kind of chassis, be sure that you will upgrade or you should buy an extension cable para ma-route mo ng mas maayos yung kanyang VGA cable. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, hindi ganun kaganda yung cable management. At the same time, hindi rin ganun kaganda yung pagkakakabit sa mismong video card. That is supposedly from the bottom side going to the video card PCIe ports. Pero hindi po ganun yung nangyari dahil nga po, ayun, nabitin po tayo. And you will also spot in here the HDD cage and the SSD plate mounts. And ayan po yung makikita natin bukod sa pre-installed fan hub. Now moving on to the bottom side, you will also spot in here yung kanyang dust filter. Madali lang pong tanggalin yung kanyang dust filter, parang drawer type lang din po. Same with the front panel, hihilain mo lang po siya to remove the dust filter. So at least mas madali din pong linisan dahil hindi siya flimsy, meron po siyang frame, and that will be a very big help for maintenance. Now with that being said, design is something that is unique. But for me, it's subjective. Not everyone will like it. Pero if you are just going for a chassis that you want to be so sure na maganda yung kanyang performance pagdating sa airflow by just looking at the chassis itself, masasabi mong, uy, maganda yung performance na to. The only resistance ng air papasok sa loob ng chassis is because of the dust filter. Going on sa ating benchmark, we found out that the Fractal Design Torrent is now outperforming Lianli 215 pagdating sa CPU stability test. So temperature benchmark with the CPU alone, there is not so significant still for me. That is something na, what? This chassis is 3K more compared sa Lianli 215, tapos ganito lang yung difference. Pero wait, let's check again the other benchmark. How about if we will try to torture this chassis and do some simulation that is also not impossible, especially for guys who are into production or guys who do play games with a very high resolution at the same time loading a lot of applications, or they are into streaming where there's kind of multitasking ongoing while they are playing games. GPU and CPU stress test. Let's find out if which chassis will perform better over the other. And dito natin ngayon makikita that Lianli 215, not even close, is so inferior compared sa Fractal Design Torrent. Talking about 5 degrees Celsius higher, and this is the best airflow chassis before this Fractal Design Torrent. That is something significant. And that is at even 5 degrees Celsius higher. That is 7 degrees Celsius higher pagdating sa video card. And we all know that video card is one of the most used part pagdating sa mga high-end systems. And that 7 degrees Celsius na mas malamig yung temperature ng video card mo pag ito yung gagamitin mong chassis over that Lianli 215, then hindi mo na kailangang pag-isipan yung matitipid mong 3,000 pesos if you are also having that better temperature for a more secure lifespan ng yung video card na most likely nasa 50K or 100K and above. And yes, that is the Fractal Design Torrent. For me, I like this chassis, and with those numbers, benchmark won't lie, this is really the best airflow chassis as of now. and I may consider it as the king of airflow chassis. The design is really functional. Everything that is done, implementation, is close to perfect pagdating sa chassis na to. The only thing siguro kung bakit kayo magbabackpedal to consider this chassis is because of the price. That is quite, sobrang mahal for most of us based on our local market. And then other than that, yung design. Not everyone will like that kind of design. Some prefers minimalist, like yes, they prefer the meshify chassis. Pero given these days na halos pare-parehas na lahat ng mukha ng chassis, if you want to be a bit unique or something, kumbaga head turner yung PC build mo, then this is also one of the chassis that you may consider aside from the fact na this is the king of airflow chassis. That's it mga kaibigan, and for the giveaway, you have a chance to win a Fractal Design ARGB fans. Triple fans po yun, 3 fans, by just leaving a comment below. What can you say about this chassis? Anything under the sun? Share this video on your social media accounts, and of course, subscribe on our channel. After 30 days, i-announce po natin yung winner. That's it, and stay safe, everyone.